In our first story, one person has been confirmed dead in renewed chieftaincy clashes in the Upper East regional capital of Bolgatanga. 8 others are said to have been injured during sporadic shooting after a clash occurred at a funeral in the suburb of Bukere, where 2 rival royal gates met Sunday afternoon. The 2 royal gates have been at loggerheads for some time over who should succeed the deceased paramount chief of the Bolgatanga traditional area, Naba Martin Abilba III. Last year, each gate elected one of their own as paramount chief, which led to clashes on several fronts and on several occasions, forcing the security agencies to deploy a team of military and police personnel to the area. Upper East Regional Police Commander DCOP Simon Iyao Apoku confirmed at a news briefing on Monday afternoon that the deceased died while on admission at the Bolgatanga hospital.
Information that there were some disturbances at a funeral being held at Bukere, a suburb of Bolgatanga. We proceeded to the place and found some persons believed to be supporters of opposing gates of the Bolga skin affairs who had clashed at the funeral due to some misunderstandings. The feuding factions were armed with bottles, stones, clubs, cudgels, and other offensive weapons, destroying food items, canopies, etc. in the process. One unregistered Yamaha motorbike belonging to one of the victims currently at the hospital, and a Toyota RAV4 registration number GN6786-12 had been vandalized in the process. Again, at the scene, we recovered 19 live AA cartridges, 1 double-edged sword in a scabbard, a smoke, all concealed in a black polythene bag. These were believed to have been abandoned by one of the factions in the fight. Unfortunately, it didn't end here. They carried on the attack to other points outside the funeral grounds, where an Opel taxi cab with registration number AS 1847W, on board which were 5 persons, had knocked down one of the victims currently at the hospital, after which he was shot with a weapon suspected to be an AK-47 rifle, wounding him and then another person in the process. Currently at the Bolgatanga Government Hospital, 9 persons were actually sent there yesterday by the police who had sustained various degrees of wounds, of which some were from gunshot. Unfortunately, 1 person have been pronounced dead this morning. Remaining 8 who are responding to treatments at the hospital. The timely intervention of the police, supported by the military, calmed the situation, and we had to beef up the security in the area and the township in general, intensifying our joint patrols to ensure that there was no further development of the incident overnight. Currently, the township is calm. People are going about their normal endeavors without hindrance.
And in the Upper West region, the police have arrested 31 illegal miners, including 4 Burkinabes, in the Wild West district. The police also retrieved several items, including gold detectors, motorbikes, and shotguns. Deputy Upper West Regional Police Commander ACP Dr. Shaibu Gariba disclosed that a joint police and military team conducted a swap in the area following 2 weeks of investigations and surveillance on the suspects. Rafik Salam reports.
Since the discovery of some gold deposit at Joleiri, Tanangna, Pule, and Ponyantanga, all located in the West district of the Upper West region. A couple of weeks ago, over 1,500 illegal miners, including foreigners, have relocated to the communities. Few days after their arrival, the illegal miners went to work by first destroying everything on site, including economic trees like shea and dawadawa. Temporary structures were also constructed as homes and for keeping their valuable items. Worried about the danger the activities of these illegal miners pose for the areas, a joint security task force comprising 100 police personnel and 71 personnel from the Airborne Force of the Ghana Armed Forces raided the site to flush them out. They were led to the site by the Deputy Upper West Commander of the Ghana Police Service, ACP Dr. Shaibu Garba, and the Commanding Officer of the Airborne Force in Tamale, Lieutenant Colonel Joseph Malik Pulamani. 22 of the illegal miners were arrested, including 4 Burkinabes. Shotguns, electric generators, motorbikes, gold detectors were also seized. Other valuable assets, like the temporary structures, were also destroyed and some burnt into ashes. Deputy Upper West Commander of the Ghana Police Service, ACP Dr. Shaibu Garba, briefing newsmen after the exercise, stated that the arrested illegal miners will be thoroughly screened and those found culpable will be prosecuted.
And there are equipments for undertaking illegal mining. Some of the suspects you see, some of them are foreigners. And then I think that one, the Ghana Immigration Service will help us to understand it properly. So that is all what I want you to know. When we get to our investigations, where we screen the suspects you see, the 22 people here, the investigation will determine the way forward.
The commanding officer of the Airborne Force, Lieutenant Colonel Joseph Malik Pulamani, on his part, stated that despite the success shocked by the team, they were not going to rest on their oars.
The good news is that we have flashed them and will sustain our operations. Now that we know here we are home.
Reporting for J News, Rafik Salam, Jole Yiri.
And here in Accra, government is asking justices of the Supreme Court to throw out a case in which 2 Ghanaians are asking the court to declare as unconstitutional President John Dramani Maham's admission into Ghana of 2 terror suspects from Guantanamo Bay. The Deputy Attorney General Dominic Ayeni, among other things, argues that the plaintiffs have come to the court with dubious hearsay evidence and must not be entertained in the highest court of the land. The plaintiffs, Margaret Bamfo and Henry Nanabuache, contend the president breached the law by allowing the 2 terror suspects who were arrested by the U.S. under the fight against terrorism, detained for 14 years in Cuba, but are now in Ghana to serve another 2 years of detention under a controversial agreement signed between Ghana and the United States. They said the agreement entered between Ghana and the U.S. was an intentional agreement or an international agreement and should have gone to Parliament for ratification. Residents of Tema Community 3 are demanding that work on an ongoing project in the community be halted. According to the aggrieved residents, the location of the ongoing project, which is rumored to be a cement warehouse, is inappropriate due to its proximity to the Sakumono Lagoon Ramsar site. The residents have so far given the Tema Development Corporation and the Tema Metropolitan Assembly a week to revoke the permit or face their wrath. Matilda Pomaga reports.
TMA/Pin/571/Community 3 is the only inscription on the gated wall. This inscription only proves that the project has been sanctioned and approved. The gated site covers a sizable space along the Tema-Sakumono Beach Road. According to the residents, the project's location is not an extension of the Tema Industrial Zone, but an extension of the Sakumono Lagoon Ramsar site, which does not permit such projects. The project, which started in November 2014, has raised many questions which remain remain unanswered by city authorities and developers. The residents are not only worried about the nuisance caused over the past 2 years, but wondered why such a project will be given permit by the Tema Metropolitan Assembly, Tema Development Corporation, as well as the Environmental Protection Agency, especially when the location is an extension of a wetland.
The total reason of it is that we don't want them here. They should be relocated.
Is the problem about giving you information and engaging the community, or you just don't know when the project to continue?
Now, the issue is that from the beginning they failed to consult. They failed to let us know exactly what is going on. Only tells us that if this thing is completed, we will not have our peace here. They've hidden the motive behind the project from us for all this while. So we don't even want to believe whatever they tell us now. Because if they have anything to tell us, they would have done that long before this thing begins. Because I'm a planner by this thing. And I know that if you want to begin a project like this, the first thing to do is to contact the community. The second thing is that you put up your billboard indicating the nature of the project, who the clients are, who the consultants are, who are this. So everybody will know. If they find out that the place that the project is taking place is not conducive, they raise the alarm. But this they have failed to do. Why have they done that? It means there's something to hide. So we don't want to believe what they tell us now, because if they are anything to tell us, they would have done that before the commencement of the project. Right, you're welcome.
Residents say attempts to get city authorities to engage the community has proven futile, but insist things must be done properly.
We did our own checks at the Registrar General's Department, and we got the name of this thing as International Terminal Ghana Limited. So the name alone tells you that the nature of the project is of commercial, nature. We also did further checks, and we had two sides. One part said that they were going to use it for a cement factory. The other two said that they were going to use it for a container terminal, which we are not able to this, but we are still doing further checks to find out exactly which of the two is this thing. But either way, whether a cement factory or a container terminal, we think that it is not, appropriate. You see, we know that one of the requirements of EPA in granting permits is that you should have done some scoping. Scoping means that you should have engaged the community in whatever project that you wanted to do. That they haven't done. And as I said, there should have been a signpost to show that indeed this is the project. They haven't done any of those things.
Though the Tema Development Corporation admits to issuing permits for the project, they will, however, not make any comment when contacted by Joy News. In an off-record conversation with the senior program officer at the Tema Environmental Protection Agency, Hope Lumoti confirmed EPA has received a petition from the residents, which is being looked on, but declined any further comments. Joy News will bring you more on this project as the story unfolds. Matilda Famaga for Joy News, Tema.
Before we wrap up the news, let's look at some politics. As the incumbent Member of Parliament for the Klotikole constituency, Nii Armah Ashitey has accused Dr. Zaneto Rawlings of running to the Supreme Court, all in an attempt to buy time to enable her register in the Electoral Commission's upcoming limited voter registration exercise. The Electoral Commission will hold the exercise on the 28th of this very month. According to the NDC legislator, the latest move by the party's elected parliamentary nominee, whose eligibility he is challenging, clearly shows that an illegality has been committed. Joy News' Raymond Aqua has a lot more on the story.
Ashitey's latest accusations comes on the back of Dr. Zaneto Rawlings' filing of a fresh suit at the Supreme Court last week, seeking a restraining order to stop the judge from hearing a case at the High Court, citing lack of jurisdiction. The Apex Court is set to hear the case on the 26th of April 2016, just 2 days before the EC starts its limited voter registration exercise. Dr. Zaneto Rawlings, before this move, had suffered 2 setbacks in her attempts to have the case brought against her dismissed. Addressing a group of supporters at the Klote constituency office of the NDC, Nii Armah Ashitey said, although he is perturbed by the latest move, he is still confident of victory.
If somebody at this stage, you know, at this stage will come and say that the lower court has no jurisdiction, you know, when we come very far, almost getting to the end, then you ask yourself why? Because this matter has been raised before, and the court has dealt with it. The lower court has dealt with it, that it has jurisdiction.
The argument is that the case may be rendered moot anytime soon, because 28th is when they are starting the registration exercise.
Oh, I don't think it will be moot. I don't think it will be moot. Why will it be moot? I mean, why? I don't think that going to register during the limited registration will cure the defect. It will not cure it, because our own rules, our own NDC rules say that no member of the party shall qualify to contest in any primary for any of the parliamentary seats if that member fails to satisfy the requirement for the election of a member of parliament, as provided on the 94(1)(a) of the Constitution. And that is that you must be a Ghanaian, you must be 21 years, and you must be a registered voter. To contest a primary, you need to be a Ghanaian. You need to be 21 years, and you need to be a registered voter. So I don't think you're going to register during the limit. They will cure the defect, because it's not going. It's a condition precedent.
Well, matters of the law, matters of interpretation, but we have a lot more issues for us to take a look at. We'll be very soon looking at what the stories on the front and back page of the newspapers, but also looking at the various news stories on the various news portals, notably myjoyonline.com. We'll go to City FM Online, as well as the Africa page of the BBC. Many of you want to hear a lot more about the insider issues on the Panama leaks, as to which African leader, businessman or politician or, well, entrepreneur has his name on the leaks. And I'm sure we'll get a little more update when we do that review. We're taking a break. When we come back, I'll be joined by Mamavi Owusu-Abuaje, and then we'll do the various reviews from the newspapers. Do stay on.